Hi, this is Chris Lukenbiel, and we're going to be talking about customizing symbols. So the reason why we talk about customizing symbols is paying attention to the little details in a map design shape how well it can be read. So we're looking at trying to increase the level of clarity. So to do so, we pay attention, needs to be paid to the visual variables and the relationship to the data that they are representing. So for instance, on this map, these are different types of point symbols, but the visual variable of the point is representing different items. And so we have height, color, and in some cases even orientation of the symbol. And these are just using the symbols of size to show variation. So there's two basic types of visual variable groupings, if you will. We can talk about ordered or quantitative data and qualitative data. And let's look at the kinds of visual variables that are used for each of these data types. First, with the quantitative data, we can do size because we can actually have the actual data value be directly tied to the symbol size. Lightness, same thing again. You can have 100% black, 0% equals white, so we can do an absolute data value. Pattern separation, it can be really thin and tight to far apart, showing a quantitative difference. The amount of saturation of a color, it can be very light yellow or very, very dark brown. Over on the qualitative, we think of apples and oranges, like what makes things different. So we think of hue or the difference in color. We think about shapes, that circles, triangles, squares are unrelated. And we think about pattern arrangement in terms of different types of patterns within a symbol. So a combination of visual variables and feature type, such as point, line, and area, form a framework to design custom symbols. So we can think with point symbols, you can think about how we could vary them by form, by size, by color, by value, by texture, by orientation. So when we combination of visual variables and feature types, the points, lines, or areas, form a framework for designing custom symbology. So let's take a look at the differences for different types of line and area symbols. Lines are on the top, areas are on the bottom. But see how the form varies the way the line is represented. So we can have something that's more like a railroad versus a path versus a road, so that we can differentiate qualitative differences by form. We could do size, thicker or thinner, or smaller areas, larger areas. We could vary by color. We can vary by value. We can vary by texture. And we can vary by orientation for all point, line, and area symbols.